So quiet now.
It's so quiet. All right, welcome back. Man, we are the Bonsai Movie Crew. As usual, don't forget to check out all the social stuff down there. Your X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I remember this week.
Good job.
And then, obviously, if you want to listen to us, you can listen to us on Spotify and all that other podcast stuff. And then, if you want to watch us, obviously, you can watch us right here on YouTube. That's an option too.
Yes.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into the creator profile because it's a long one.
40 seconds in.
Can anybody guess who it is?
John Candy.
No.
Oh. When are you going to get another chance to do John Candy?
There's going to be chances.
There'll be chances.
Sure.
John Candy's in
I
quite
thought
a
it
few
was a good
movies.
opportunity to do Demi Moore.
Yeah, I guess so.
So because she's, I mean, we're not going to do a lot, Emily.
You're right.
Unless we do striptease
We could do that.
or G.I. Jane.
Porn thing?
Striptease? No, it's just a
Not
movie.
really. It's just, yeah.
We could
She's
do
just a
Ghost.
stripper.
Do Ghost. I don't really want to do
It
Ghost.
was a joke. Calm down.
You know we don't really do any bad movies.
We could do.
I know we need to do some bad movies here.
Oh, we could do,
sprinkle 'em in.
Oh, why?
I actually had to cut some paragraphs out.
One
of this
Crazy Summer.
Okay, I can get behind that one.
Yeah. Ever seen One Crazy Summer? That's got Demi Moore in it.
one.
Demi Moore, John Cusack, and Bobcat Goldthwait. I can't think of
Wait,
anything
is that the
else.
one that has like the dudes like that are big into horror movies and?
No, that's Summer School.
Yeah, okay.
No, in One Crazy Summer, John Cusack and his buddy go to
Okay,
the
yeah, I know,
island
yeah.
and have to win the regatta.
That's where he's doing all his drawings or whatever.
Yeah, and the drawings and to win that house back for Demi Moore's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and read this. It's kind of long, so I actually had to cut some of it out because of how long it was. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why it's so long.
Why'd you pick a long one?
I didn't pick a long one.
He
This
He
is
just
picked
picked a character.
picked
and
a
that's-
person and
you
she
got
had a
you have
long-
to understand.
That's a
I get all
character.
of these from biography.com. So everything, if you want to read it, it's all there on biography.com. And then I get all of our movie plots from fandom because people type out their own plots. This is why sometimes they're not always 100% accurate, or well, 100% like
They're not as detailed.
As
Some of them are
detailed,
more
yeah.
detailed than others.
yeah. So I don't write any of this stuff, so all the credit goes to the people on fandom and whoever writes for biography. Probably multiple people, I would assume. Anyway, I'll go ahead and do Demi Moore.
Dammy.
Demi Moore.
Damn it.
Damn it, Moore. That's probably what Ashton Kutcher was saying.
I doubt it. I bet she dumped it now. Probably not. I don't know.
I think he was having an affair on her.
Probably. Well, that's what you get for
Marrying somebody that
marrying
should be
somebody
your
that's
son.
Yeah.
All right. Who's Demi Moore? Born in 1962 in Roswell, New Mexico. That explains it. She's an alien.
Yeah, she's one of the. She started getting plastic surgery too. She looks like an alien now.
I know. Sad.
She was so beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Actress Demi Moore found her way onto the soap opera General Hospital as a teenager before earning big screen acclaim for St. Elmo's Fire. Moore hit the jackpot with the 1990 hit Ghost, which, along with her marriage to Bruce Willis, established her as a Hollywood A-lister for the next few years. Flops like Striptease and G.I. Jane marked the end of her run on top, though she continued to surface in films like Charlie's Angels 2, while publicly facing professional and personal obstacles. Early life. Moore was born Demetria. Wow.
Oh, that.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
I always wondered what her full name was.
Demetria Guynes? It's Guynes. Guynes, I guess.
That sounds good.
Gaines.
Or Gaines? Gaines, maybe? Yeah.
Gaines.
I would say
Gaines.
Guynes.
It
I'd
sounds
say
more like
Gaines.
Gaines. Probably more like Gaines.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, on November 1962 in Roswell, New Mexico, her parents split up after she was born, and she was raised by
So it's
her
her
mother.
fault. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And she was raised
Being
by
a
her
dick.
mother and stuff. But they were split apart forcibly because her dad was probably an alien.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, she was raised by her mother and stepfather, Virginia and Danny Gines. So she took his last name, apparently, both of whom drank heavily. Moore had moved more than 30 times by the time she was 14, eventually settling in Los Angeles. Moore later explained in Interview magazine, by moving around a lot, I learned to assimilate into whatever new surroundings I had and to become very comfortable with people quickly. I think that was one of the strongest contributing factors to my becoming an actor. Soap star and early roles. Dropping out of high school at 16, Moore, of course she did. Moore worked as a
Ended up
debt
working out for her.
huh?
Ended up working out for
Yeah,
her.
no shit. Debt collector for time and tried modeling. She also developed an interest in acting. In 1981, Moore landed a role on the popular television soap opera General Hospital. She played journalist Jackie Templeton for 2 years.
That sounds like such a soap opera name.
Yeah, no shit.
Jackie Templeton.
Jackie Templeton, yeah. That same year, Moore made her film debut in the independent drama Choices. During her stint at General Hospital, Moore found time for a few film projects. Following her marriage to musician Freddie Moore in 1981, she appeared with him in the 3D science fiction horror flick Parasite in 1982. Moore also had a bit part in a soap opera spoof, Young Doctors in Love, 1982. All right, St. Elmo's Fire breakout. After leaving her soap opera role, Moore struggled to build a career in film. She played Michael Caine's daughter in Blame It on Rio, 1984. She attracted little attention from critics or moviegoers. Okay. Taking on a lead role, Moore played John Cryer's love interest in No Small Affair in 1984. But she didn't capture the public's attention until her performance in St. Elmo's Fire in 1985. This film tells the story of a group of friends as they confront post-college life. The cast also included several other young stars on the rise, such as Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, and Emilio Estevez. Many of these performers were becoming equally famous of their off-screen antics and partying lifestyles, with the media dubbing them the Brat Pack. Emilio Estevez, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's Michael Sheen's son and all that, but
yeah, that was the Brat Pack. That whole group.
In her personal life, Moore divorced her first husband in 1984. She started dating Emilio Estevez, and the two became engaged in 1985. The couple starred together in 1986's Wisdom, which Estevez also wrote and directed. That same year, Moore starred opposite Rob Lowe in About Last Night, a look at young singles in Chicago. Critic Roger Ebert praised both of their performances, saying the film gives them the best acting opportunities either one has ever had, and they make the most of them. But Roger Ebert's a douche, and so is... Yeah, they're both douchebags.
Mm-hmm.
He also signed out Moore as especially impressive. There isn't a romantic note she isn't required to play in this movie, and she plays them all flawlessly. Marriage to Bruce Willis and Ghost Stardom. Again, playing the love interest, Moore co-starred with John Cusack in the popular comedy One Crazy Summer in 1986. She was working steadily, but had yet to score a major box office hit. In 1987, she and Estevez broke up, and Moore later met actor Bruce Willis, who was then on popular television show Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd. The two began dating and were married in November 1987 in Las Vegas. In 1988, they welcomed their first child together, daughter Rumer, who was named after the British writer Rumer Godden. Nobody cares. That same year, Moore returned to the big screen with The Seventh Sign, an apocalyptic thriller. She played a pregnant woman trying to stop the end of the world. Despite a few positive reviews for her performance, the film only earned about $16 million at the box office. Moore took on lighter fare with her next effort, 1989's We're No Angels, which starred Robert De Niro and Sean Penn. Despite the impressive cast, the film did not fare well with audiences. Moore's biggest career breakthrough came in 1990 with the romantic drama Ghost. She played Molly, a young woman whose husband Sam, played by Patrick Swayze, was murdered. His spirit works with a psychic, Whoopi Goldberg, to avenge his death and protect Molly from those involved. Showing impressive vulnerability on screen, Moore earned praise for her work on the film, which became a huge hit. Ghost brought in approximately $218 million at the box office and earned 5 Academy Award nominations. I remember that was everybody's favorite movie for a while. Ghost.
It's got some pretty funny moments in it.
It does, though.
I love the part where he's like, they're going to bury you next to Jimmy Hoffa.
Singing Johnny the Eighth I Am.
Yeah.
She's sleeping.
Henry the Eighth I Am.
Yeah, Henry the Eighth
He's
I
trying
Am.
to get Whoopi Goldberg to do what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
So she can't sleep.
A Few Good Men. Moore's next 2 films, Nothing But Trouble and The Butcher's Wife, 1991, showed off her comedic side. They both, however, failed to attract much of an audience. That same year, Moore became the talk of the nation when her controversial Vanity Fair cover. She was in the midst of her second pregnancy when she posed in the nude for the magazine's cover. While surprised by dramatic responses to the image, Moore also saw the cover as a chance to challenge perceptions about women and pregnancy. People in this country don't want to embrace motherhood and sensuality. You're either sexy or you're a mother. I didn't want to have to choose, she told Interview magazine. Not too long after that issue appeared on newsstands, Moore and Willis celebrated the birth of their second daughter, Scout. Moore had her third child with Willis in 1994, a daughter named Tallulah. That same year, she starred opposite Michael Douglas in the box office hit Disclosure. Moore played a top executive who sexually harassed Douglas's character. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, she explained why she took the controversial role. I'd never played a villain before, so it was attractive to me, she said, adding that she was a wreck during filming. I've never showed up for a show where I started shaking before every scene. I've never stepped into someone so cunning. She's just that scary. In 1995, Moore made movie history when she became the highest paid actress at the time, netting a $12.5 million payday for Striptease in 1996. The film is about a single mother who works as a stripper to earn money to fight her ex-husband for custody of their daughter, played by Moore's real-life daughter, Rumer, which I didn't know. The film proved to be a commercial and critical disappointment. Professional and personal obstacles. God damn you, come here. What did I do? Okay, here we go.
Demi got away.
Okay, here we go. Moore faced more personal challenges around this time. Her estranged mother was diagnosed with brain cancer in 1997, and the mother and daughter finally reunited. Moore stayed with her mother through the final months of her life. Virginia Gines, I think it's Gines, it just sounds right, succumbed to her disease in July 1998. At the same time, Moore had to cope with another loss. She and Willis announced their separation after more than 10 years of marriage, just days before Gines' passing. Moore also continued to struggle professionally. She starred in 1997's G.I. Jane as the first woman to attempt to join the elite Navy SEALs military unit. For her role, Moore trained vigorously, lifting weights for 2 hours a day and going for 6-mile runs. She even shaved off her hair for one scene. All of the dedication, however, translated into middling showing at the box office. Moore later said that the media reports killed G.I. Jane before it ever even had a moment, according to Entertainment Weekly. However, she did find success during this time through her production company, Moving Pictures. She signed on to produce the hit comedy Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, and its sequels, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, and Austin Powers, The Goldmember, which I didn't know that she had produced those. That's weird.
I remember seeing her name on the first one. I didn't realize that she did the other ones.
Apparently, she owns the production company, which I didn't even know she. Everybody, it seems like all these actors anymore have production companies.
If they're smart, they do.
I mean, I guess, yeah, because they can produce their own movies and whatever.
Well, and eventually they can step back and not have to do the hard work anymore.
True. Yeah, I guess I just kind of watch them.
Everybody should have a retirement plan, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. All right, Charlie's Angels comeback. Retreating from the Hollywood scene in 1998, Moore and her 3 daughters moved to Hailey, Idaho. That is so fucking weird. Who would move to Idaho?
People who don't want to be in the spotlight anymore.
Exactly.
Hoes.
Right. Because they'd a hoe. You'd a hoe, Idaho.
Wow.
Where she and Willis had previously purchased a home. During her time in Hailey, Moore mostly focused on raising her daughters. She left her quiet small-town life to act in one film, the independent drama Passion of Mind. Moore's next big screen venture was heralded as her comeback in Charlie's Angels 2 Full Throttle. She played a villain named Madison Lee. Moore appeared opposite such younger talents as Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and Cameron Diaz. She's so lovely and so powerful. Here's a woman who has 3 children. She goes toe-to-toe with Cameron Diaz in a bikini. She's awesome. I just enjoy her performances and her gustiness.
Bitch is hardcore.
Yeah, bitch is hardcore. The film's director, McG. Marriage to Ashton Kutcher. Around this time, Moore was also attracting a lot of media attention for her off-screen life. She began dating 25-year-old actor Ashton Kutcher, 15 years her junior. The tabloids could not seem to get enough of this May-December romance, with some speculating whether their relationship was merely a publicity stunt. Moore and Kutcher proved their critics wrong when they married in September 2005 at their Beverly Hills home. Kutcher became very close with Moore's daughters, who sometimes called him MOD for My Other Dad. Moore went on to take a small but dramatic role playing an alcoholic lounge singer in Emilio Estevez's Bobby, which imagined the final hours of Robert Kennedy through the eyes of different people at the Los Angeles Ambassador Hotel. Her strong performance earned a share of critical praise. Moore followed up with this success with the thriller Mr. Brooks, playing a detective pursuing a serial killer, Kevin Costner. She then co-starred in the heist caper Flawless with Michael Caine. We're almost there. Don't worry. Divorce and more challenges. And that's not a pun. That just says more challenges, not like her last name Moore.
I gotcha.
In November 2011, Moore filed for divorce from husband Ashton Kutcher in the wake of numerous reports that he had been unfaithful to her. At the time, she released a statement saying, "As a woman, a mother, and a wife, there are certain values and vows that I hold sacred, and it is in the spirit that I have chosen to move forward with my life." Their divorce was finalized in 2013. In January 2012, Moore seemed to be experiencing a personal crisis. She was taken to Los Angeles Hospital early in the year after suffering a seizure from inhaling nitrous oxide. according to TMZ. Moore did not publicly acknowledge the incident, but she did decide to seek help for some health issues.
I'm sure it was by accident.
Put that cookie down!
That's awful.
That's pretty funny.
It was pretty funny.
A spokesperson for the actress said that Moore planned to get professional assistance to treat her exhaustion and improve her overall health. She also dropped out of the film Loveless, I guess, about the famed porn star Linda Lovelace. Okay. Moore had signed on to play feminist Gloria Steinem. TV, more films, and memoirs. This is it. This is our home run right here. We're almost there, people. I'm getting fucking cottonmouth, and I didn't bring our water down either. Moore soon resumed working fairly steadily, albeit outside of the spotlight. She had prominent roles in Very Good Girls in 2014, Forsaken 2015, and Wild Oats in 2016, and starred as the female lead in Blind in 2016, alongside Alec Baldwin. Moore also enjoyed a positive reception with her return to television in 2017, nabbing a recurring role on season 4 of the popular Fox drama Empire. Back on the big screen, Moore enjoyed a supporting part in the dark comedy Rough Night 2017, after appearing in the drama Love, Sonia in 2018, and co-starring in the comedy horror Corporate Animals in 2019. I think I saw that one. I can't remember. Additionally, she prepared for another TV gig by landing a role in USA Network's adaptation of Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Beyond the screen, Moore drew attention with the September 2019 publication of her memoir, Inside Out, which delves into her turbulent childhood, Hollywood stardom, and battles with substance abuse. That's it. All right.
That Inside Out was Pixar's movie.
What?
Inside Out. Did you not say Inside Out? I thought you said Inside Out.
Did she do a voice?
That's just the name of her. No, that's just the name of her book. It's called Inside Out.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a movie.
Pay attention.
I was paying
I heard him
attention.
say a book. I thought you were saying she did a voice on it.
Oh.
No.
Okay, I was confused.
I thought you were still talking
All
about
right.
because I didn't hear him say book.
Well, that was Demi Moore. Everybody, what's your favorite Demi Moore movie?
Shit.
I'm stuck between Nothing But Trouble or One Crazy Summer, but because Nothing But Trouble, she does more. Her comedic side is much more pronounced.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna say One Crazy Summer because nobody probably has seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna go with One Crazy Summer myself.
I haven't seen a lot of Demi Moore stuff. Like, honestly.
That's why I say
Neither
like
have
One
I.
Crazy Summer is
I've seen
funny as fuck.
I've seen Nothing But Trouble, obviously. I think I've watched G.I. Jane before. I remember parts of
I
it.
honestly can't.
I've never seen Striptease, G.I. Jane.
I've never seen
I've seen Mr.
Striptease.
Brooks.
I think I watched Mr. Brooks once.
I liked it. Not
Um,
because of her performance. I really liked seeing what's his face play bad guy, Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, yeah.
Uh,
I've seen, and then I remember watching the second Charlie's Angels. I think I only watched it once. But I'd have to say, like, obviously, of all of her performances, Nothing But Trouble.
You know what? I'm gonna go back on that. I think it's Nothing But Trouble because her performance in this is much more comedically like outstanding than in One Crazy Summer.
Yeah, I think that
One Crazy Summer is a better.
I actually
like it.
I
more
actually enjoy
comedically.
her more in this movie than I do Chevy Chase.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
So because
Yeah.
like it seems like
comedy,
she brings
her comedy timing in this movie is flawless.
Yeah, I think she's great in this movie, and whereas Chevy Chase, he's there, but like he's almost
his
phoning it in.
one-liners are like
They're
you almost want to go zing every time he says.
yeah,
something.
like because it's always the same shit.
Yeah.
Like he'll be like the part where he's walking through the hall and he's like, "Oh, this must be the nursery." Like he's always throwing in little quippy lines like that in every movie he's in, and it's always the same shit. You know when it's coming, and he's always got something cocky to say.
every now and again it's funny, but
Yeah.
it's 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 coming. You know exactly what's.
Well, we just watched Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
And now watching this, and you're like, you can. That's definitely his brand of comedy.
Yeah.
Just throw it in, real subtle. You barely hear it, but whenever you do hear it, you're like, yeah, okay.
It can be. Some of them are pretty funny, but like, it gets
stale fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Nothing But Trouble for her.
Yeah, her comedic timing in this is
I
great.
think she's great. So I think she's funny in this movie. She's one of the best parts of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Bobo and Little Devil.
Oh yeah, that's probably my favorite part is when they're running away and he's like, "Who the hell are they?" or whatever, and she's like, "Bobo and Little Devil. They're not allowed in the house."
Yeah, they're not allowed in the house.
Like that helps explain who they are.
Who they are. Yeah. Madison.
Probably this one. I think it's the only thing I've ever seen her in.
I've seen her in Ghost, obviously. Which she did
That's
good in
her
Ghost. But she's more of like
her. If you want to talk about great acting, she did amazing in that movie.
Yeah, she was good in Ghost.
It's
but
not my favorite movie.
But it wasn't like she wasn't a prominent. I mean, she was a prominent part of the movie, but she wasn't like Patrick Swayze. That was his movie. You know what I mean? Like she was a love interest, and most of the time when you see her, she's just like she's
sad.
She just got to look sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So. I mean, she's okay.
She did a really good job in the movie, and the movie is really good. It's just not one of my favorites. When it comes to drama, I usually don't gravitate towards it very much.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, this thing's...
bugging you?
Yeah, I think it needs to be there. All right. Yeah. So, everybody... What was yours? Nothing But Trouble, or...
No, it was One Crazy Summer.
Okay. Yeah, I think this one would probably be mine. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on here because we done spent enough time on Demi Moore. Jesus, took forever. But yeah, she was a fucking dame back in the day, dude. Good lord.
Yeah, I know. I've seen her. I think it was in Mr. Brooks when she walked in. I saw her name on the credits, and when she walked in, I was like, "That's not Demi Moore, is it?" And then when she started talking, I was like, "Oh, that is her." It was like when her and Ashton Kutcher like started dating and they got married and stuff. That's when she started doing.
I've seen her recently. She don't look that bad. Maybe she.
No, I think she backed off.
Yeah.
Because I think what she did wasn't
She's
stuff
letting
like
it natural age.
She never went under the knife. I don't think. I think it was more like
injections,
lit fillers and stuff.
Yeah, injections and that.
Yeah.
I'm glad she backed off of it because we don't need another Madonna. Come on now.
Oh Lord.
Like she looks like a fucking alien raped a lizard.
Put that cookie down.
Cookie down. That's your favorite, isn't it?
Especially when it comes to like, drug abuse and cosmetic work. That's when you get a little overboard. It's like, you put it down.
Put it down.
Stop.
Put the cookie down.
Just stop.
Just stop. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get into what everybody's been watching this week.
What the hell have you been watching?
Oh, let's start with Madison.
I've been watching Good Girls a lot, actually. I think that's one of the only things I've watched this week. Started watching it on Thursday, and we're already on season 3. We just got to season 3 today. Me and Ada have been watching it. Have you ever heard of it? It's on Netflix. It's about these 3 moms. They go, they're all broke. One of them needs to help her kid because her kid's liver's failing. The other one has to pay her mortgage because her husband's cheating on her and made cruddy business decisions. And then the last one has to get a lawyer for like custody because the dad's trying to take her kid away.
Sounds like a hoot.
So they all go and they rob this grocery store. And they like have money now, obviously, and they all split it. And then the gang leader, because that was his money, but they didn't know that because apparently he has stores like wrapped around his little finger around that city and stuff. And they technically stole from him, so he kind of showed up to kill him. But then the main chick, Beth, she tells him that they'll work for him instead and like get the money back for him.
That's great.
Like earn it back. Yeah.
Interesting.
It does have an interesting premise.
Yeah.
They've been watching it like the past few days, and I'm like, one of the ladies in it is from Mad Men, the red-haired one, the one that everybody used to drool over because of her big old tits.
Moss.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Moss.
Yeah.
Something.
But
Elizabeth Moss? that her name?
No, I think Elizabeth Moss is the girl from.
Oh no!
Yeah, you're thinking of
You're-
Elizabeth Moss. She's in Handmaid's
Yeah.
Tale.
I
I don't know
Is
her
it-
name.
Yeah, she's got a weird name.
I don't know her name, but the redhead. But she's in it, and yeah, I have no interest. It's definitely more of a woman's.
It's an
type of
interesting premise.
show.
I probably won't watch
Matthew
it though. I got
Lillard's
so
in it,
much
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
I got so much stuff.
Yeah,
to
Matthew
watch.
Lillard is in
He's
it.
the guy that cheated on her.
Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not interested.
I don't want to see him play a cheater. Boo. Boo.
He's still funny though.
All
I'm
right.
the non-believer.
Eric, what'd you watch?
So I watched that new Bad Boys movie,
What? You mean
Bad
3?
Boys for Life or whatever.
3?
Yeah.
Not that.
That's new?
anymore. That's not.
I
new.
think I've seen that.
So, like they're older. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's like what 3-4 years old.
I was gonna say, I think I saw that when it came out.
Yeah.
well, it just came up where I could watch it. So
What's that? What is it?
basically, what's his name?
They're too old
Will
for this
Smith.
shit.
Will Smith's son.
Yeah, it's got Will
He has-
Smith's son in it.
Well, he has a son.
Yeah. They find out he has a son.
Yeah.
which is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't
They
care.
could
not-
have come up
I'm
with a
not
much
too-
better
Yeah.
premise.
I thought the
Yeah.
plot. I was like, really?
What was the first one?
It had a
Well,
lot
this
of
is the third one.
It had a lot of
What
the
was
same.
the first one?
What do you mean?
You said this one's the third one. Third
Third.
one. What was the first one then?
The
First
first one
one
was
was
called
like-
Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Well, no, duh. I mean, like, what was it about?
It was
They took.
they
down
taken a witness and
Yeah.
The first two are great.
Ecstasy.
Yeah, like a
It was
big
bad.
ecstasy rain,
Yeah.
and it's like the first one's amazing.
Is it on Netflix?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I know it's streaming somewhere.
I'm
but I
sure it
can't-
is, but the first two are awesome. They're
Yeah.
both awesome movies. The third one's good. It's just
It doesn't
It has a lot of
compare
the same
to-
things that make the
Yeah.
other two good.
yeah,
They just had a weak premise for the
Yeah.
plot. That's all.
it's not a bad movie. It's just not as good as the other two, I would say. But they're supposed to be doing a fourth one, so
Yeah.
So Bad Boys is on Prime. Bad Boys 2 is also on Prime. And Bad Boys for Life is not streaming anywhere.
I'm surprised we don't have
It's
them in
streaming
the box.
on oh fuck. What
We should
was
probably
it?
add those.
Okay, not anywhere that I have. Stars.
Stars. Yeah.
We should probably add them to the box.
Bad
Add-
Boys.
Add them, yeah.
I think first one's the best one in my opinion.
but I think the first one's the best one too. It's a lot more grounded. Like
Yeah.
the second one was done by Michael Bay, and you can tell
You
it's
don't
very
say.
Michael Bay.
You don't
Craig-
say.
Cracks me up when Martin Lawrence takes his ecstasy on accident.
Oh, yeah.
Tell the wife,
Yeah.
I'm coming home.
Yeah.
Shit's funny though. Like he
Well-
shoots him in the ass.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
also watched the Truman Show.
Oh yeah.
That
you
was
did.
like right after we watched or did podcast last week.
Yeah, the Truman Show.
Yeah.
You asked me about it, and I was like, I'll get it for you.
It's not bad.
It's a good movie.
I
I've only
liked
seen it once.
It's good. I've seen it a couple times.
That's really all I watch. I mean, there's really nothing else that's. Yeah.
All right, Karen, I'm gonna go first
Go
for
ahead.
you. She see that she was about to start reading
I'm just waiting to hear if she actually watched Terminatrix or not.
Terminatrix.
I want to hear the review. on it.
I watched the season finale of Reacher. Apparently that show is like doing
Reacher?
phenomenally. Like yeah, like I
I've
guess
been
it's got-
kind of looking.
Yeah,
into
well, I
it.
guess like this first season has over 1 billion minutes watched, which is like one of the highest rated.
I
television.
think I remember hearing something
Yeah,
about
it's like
that.
doing really well, and I guess a lot of people hate it because he's a masculine.
But I
man.
missed the
They want some
the
scrawny
show
guy.
they were talking about. Like I turned it on and I missed the show that they were talking about. But I
Well-
remember hearing 1 billion.
I mean, I'm not gonna sound like I'm taking any sides here, but like Alan Richson is the type of guy that Hollywood don't want in Hollywood. He's a Christian conservative, and
Yeah.
he has a lot of very Christian point of views, and he's an honest to God good dude.
Yeah.
And they don't like that because he's not afraid to express it either. Like, there's a lot of things about the dude that I fully and wholeheartedly respect. Like, this is why I like him so much, because he's a good fucking down to earth, just generally good guy. He's like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. I don't care what they think, and it's made it hard for him to move up in the industry. Did you know that he played one of the Ninja Turtles in the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies? I think it was Raphael he played. Raphael, and he and I guess that him and the other guys, the mocap guys, were like just treated like garbage. He said there was one day where they were literally left without food. They didn't have hotels, and they left them after they were done shooting for the day. Left their asses on the side of the road and didn't even give them a ride back to where they were staying or whatever. Treated them all like garbage. And he said
they should have had what's his face on that shoot.
Who?
The guy that fought for the extras to get hot dogs on the rock.
Well, he wasn't an extra. That's the thing. He was he was one of the mocaps for the actual turtles.
I get it.
So like, because he's a massive dude. Like, I think Alan Richson is like 6'5" or some shit, 6'7". He's fucking huge and he's jacked. Yeah. So, but he's a great dude. This is the guy.
You think that'd be the last guy you want to treat like dirt?
I know, but he's such a nice.
You want a sandwich? I'll get you a sandwich.
But he's also such a nice dude. But like, you got to understand, this dude's still married to his high school girlfriend. Like, they met in high school, and it's his high school sweetheart, and they've been married this whole time.
And you know, the thing about that that kills me is that not even that long ago, that was like the cream of the crop in Hollywood, because that was your Patrick Swayze.
Yeah,
only sure. I mean, he wasn't 6'5" and built like a brick shit house, but he was married to the same woman from the day he walked into Hollywood until the day he died. Well, and he lived outside of Hollywood.
For instance, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that they met in Hollywood, but like take Kurt Russell, for example. They've been married for fucking ever, dude, since the early 80s. And they're still married to this day.
I think the only reason that Kurt Russell does so well still, because he speaks his mind too. Yeah. But I think it's because, one, he lives outside of Hollywood, and two, he only works with certain directors.
Yeah, true. But it just goes to say
that he's made a lot of connections over the years.
It's like they're saying, man. It's like they keep saying, if you go woke, you're gonna go broke, man. It's just what it is. And people still want to see masculine men on TV, like I do. I love watching Reacher because I love watching him beat the fuck out of people. Like,
well, I know I sure as fuck don't want to see girly boys.
Why
do anything for me?
Why would you make it someone girly? If you're gonna be beating people,
you gotta understand, like, Hollywood is doing this thing where they want to include, make everybody inclusive. Everything needs to be inclusive. You need to accept if a man wants to be a woman wants to be a man. You need to accept these things, even if some people don't believe in that shit. Some people don't believe in it. I personally don't care what you do. But don't push it in our faces. Don't tell us that we need to think a certain way, or if we don't, then it's bad, blah, blah, blah. We're tired of it. I'm tired of it. And the problem is it's ruining movies. Because whenever
it's ruining every creative outlook.
Well, you're ruining movies because you're pushing everything. You're pushing your agenda into the story. You're pushing your thoughts and your morals into a story, and it fucks up the story, because it's like, okay, well, that's not what I came here for. I didn't come here so you could gender swap fucking Robin Hood, because they've done that in a TV show and it fucking flopped. They gender swapped and race swapped Robin Hood for a show, and it failed. It was a modern retelling or some shit.
That was a whole thing back in the day when they did, was it Peter Pan? The original Peter Pan on TV was a woman, and everybody freaked out about it. But they did it because they needed somebody light enough to go up on the, there was a reason. Well, that's
another thing too. Another thing that they pushed, actually, in the new Peter Pan and Wendy movie that just came out recently. A lot of people were up in arms.
That was a huge controversy back then.
Yeah, right. Well, now you got the Lost Boys. They're not all boys. Some of them are girls. And people were like, "What the fuck? They're not even boys. They're supposed to be Lost Boys."
Yeah, it's in the name.
Yeah, it's in the name. So
I mean, it would be all right if they wanted to like throw it in there, like, okay, these are all Lost Boys, and then like, oh, hey, I want to be a Lost Boy, and like she fights her way in, or something. I don't know. That would be all right.
One of the kids though literally was. They're like, but you're not a boy, and she's like, why does that have to matter? You know what I mean? It's just those things that like. But that's what Disney's doing. Disney's doing that, and it's ruined a lot of cinema. So stop doing it. Just stop doing it, and just make entertaining,
if it's
entertaining and good
If it's not
movies,
showing
man.
anybody anything, look at what your audience is telling you. Is all I'm saying.
Right, exactly. Especially like look at Disney's lost
Look
so
at
much
the
money.
bombs that are going
Yeah,
on.
Disney's
the money,
lost so much money
follow
in the
the
past
money.
few years. Anyway,
Make a good story without trying to include propaganda.
right, I agree. Like, just make a movie, man. You don't have to be weird about it. Like, you know.
Not every movie has to have a message behind it.
Right. We
I
also
thought that's what movies were for, anyways. I thought they were just for entertainment.
they're supposed to
They're supposed
entertain.
to
They're
be.
not supposed to be throwing out liberal or conservative agendas. Like, who cares? Leave it alone, dude.
I mean, you can make a good story with a good moral standing behind it, but
They don't all have to be that way.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they don't all like.
Those
Yeah,
movies are made for certain people, but stop taking old properties and throwing in your message.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people
Mo-
don't-
movies that aren't meant to be a moral
Yeah.
a moral ground you don't have to be grandstanded. You don't have to use them as a grandstand for your moral message. You know, I don't go to watch Peter Pan to find out that girls can do anything a boy can do.
That's not what I'm here for.
I didn't need. I watched.
I'm here
Peter,
to see Neverland.
Yeah, I'm here to watch. I'm here to watch swashbuckling and
Right, I'm here to feel young.
yeah,
Like I can stay this age forever.
yeah. I'm just
I
here
mean-
I'm just here to watch Tinkerbell fly around and
The way I see it, it's like we always say, if you don't like it, don't look at it, and we're going to continue not to look at it. But the problem is, if you have enough people thinking that way, like I'm not going to look at it, then you're going to lose money because you got people that don't want to watch it. So you make up your own fucking mind, Hollywood. If you want to keep doing this woke shit, you're going to fail. Just saying.
and that would be a damn shame. Disney's been around for a long time.
Yeah, man, I love the old Disney movies, and it's sad to see it failing so hard, man. So hard.
Fix it.
Yeah, fix it.
They were fine until COVID, I think.
Nah, it was before that.
Yeah,
They were
Moana
starting.
They
was
were
a good
starting,
movie.
but most things, you're right. Most things did take a turn when
We
COVID.
grew up on the classic Disney movies, like animated movies, not the CG shit.
Moana
I
was
didn't
a
grow
good
up on
movie.
that, huh?
say probably the
Moana was
past
a good
6
movie.
years it's been
Some of them are okay.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me
yeah.
wrong, but they did away with all of their animation, and that drives me insane. I miss their animation stuff,
Mhm.
man.
The real animation.
Yeah, not fucking CG animation. I'm talking about like
Moana.
cartoon animation. I'm talking like what was the last good one that they actually put out? Like they
Mm.
did the Princess and the Frog. That was a good one.
I didn't watch that one.
But
I
before
don't
that,
know.
even I mean,
I like Pocahontas. Was that before or after Princess and the Frog?
oh, it was way before. Pocahontas
Was it?
has been around since the 90s.
I haven't seen Pocahontas in a while.
What
Was
was
Up
it?
CGI?
Huh?
up,
I liked
yeah,
Up.
up was CGI.
Up was CGI.
Was it
yeah.
CGI?
I don't know, man. Like there's not a lot of good. They don't do any animation.
Was that
anymore.
even Disney though? I don't remember.
I think it was.
I'm
Pixar.
terrible with
I think
animated
Disney's-
movies.
I think that was Pixar.
When
Yeah.
was the Emperor's New Groove? I like that
I
one.
hated that movie.
You're
What?
wrong.
Hated it.
You're wrong.
I don't
hated
know.
I can't be
remember
wrong,
really
it's my
liking that
opinion.
one.
I think that was in the
Yep,
90s
you
too.
threw off the Emperor's Groove.
They haven't really done anything.
I didn't watch that until April made me watch it when we were living at that
Pretty much
apartment.
whenever they saw the success of Toy Story back in like what 96, 90, 97.
Something like that.
That was like whenever they were like, oh, we need to do more of the CG stuff, and that's
Yeah.
whenever it really started just taking off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Toy Story started all that with Pixar and all that shit, and it's just not been nonstop.
It's
since.
because it's so expensive to do storyboards and stuff like
Yeah.
It is,
It's-
but so
I'm
damn, dude.
pretty
It is
Well, it's
so,
just like
so
it's just like
good.
practical effects.
The Princess and the Frog was the last Disney like princess movie they made because
Yeah.
Brave came out after that.
Yeah,
That was CGI.
Yeah.
yeah. I because I remember whenever Princess and the Frog came out, I was like, oh yeah, fucking animated movie from Disney, and it was awesome. I was like, it was, you just love that shit. So like, what movie was it that I suggested? Oh, it was Hercules. So it's like he wanted to watch Hercules.
That's
Yeah.
a good movie.
And
I've never seen Hercules. I should
It's a
probably
really
watch
It's
that.
good
really
movie.
good. But I was told him, I was like, this is probably one of the last really, really good like animated Disney movies that they put out was Hercules. I was like, because after that, I mean, you had because it was right after that. I think they did Toy Story, and they started to segue more into the CG stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Watched
Yeah,
Rick and
you
Morty.
should watch Hercules.
Starting to watch Rick and Morty. I've watched a couple episodes. I haven't seen the new season yet, so
I haven't
Um,
either. I forgot it was.
it
out.
just came to HBO Max, I think. to
Yeah,
Max.
I forgot.
I haven't
Yeah.
really watched Rick
But
and
all
Morty.
the episodes are on
Oh,
Max.
you should
now.
watch that. It's pretty funny.
You've never
No.
seen Rick and Morty?
I've seen like pieces of it. I've like seen little episodes here and there.
It's a great show. It's
It
clever.
really is.
Especially like the
I've
first
never-
like
yeah.
4 seasons are like
Yeah.
really, really clever. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, this is fucking genius.
I've just never really sat down and started watching this.
Don't watch
You
it with
sh-
your kids.
yeah, don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Your
got the
younger
gist.
ones anyway.
I've got the gist of it.
I mean,
Uh,
maybe Theo. No, I'm just kidding.
We watched
Okay, I'll put Penny in
One
front of it.
Piece. We finished up One Piece, the live action one, to make sure that everybody knows I'm clarifying the live action one. Not
the
anime.
animated one.
Huh? No, I loved it, dude. I
Like I
loved
had
it.
to
live
clarify
action.
after you said the live action one, not the animated
Yeah.
one.
Well, I had to let Madison know that it was the live action, not the anime. For all you fucking anime psychos out there. But I thought it was great. I thought it was. I thought it was entertaining as shit. Like, it's never boring. It's fun. Me and the kids watched it. I loved the fuck out of it. I can't wait for season 2.
They
Um,
did a good job of basing it off of the anime and stuff too.
But I've heard that too, that they did a really good job with keeping it close.
That's all
to
that
the-
matters.
Well, most
that
live
they use
action
source material.
like things that or animes that they turn live action like are not good at all.
Well, they just released a trailer
So-
today for The Last Airbender for that new series that Netflix is doing for Avatar. So I'll be interested to see how that looks. Which, from what I saw from the trailer, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty action packed. So
The live
it'd be
action.
interesting. Yeah.
The movie didn't do well. I know
No,
that.
people hated the movie.
I never saw the movie.
I've seen
And
it
then
TV show's good. I
Lastly-
enjoyed the TV show.
lastly, I watched American Nightmare, that Netflix documentary, that 3-part documentary series about the lady who was abducted from her house and held for ransom, I guess. And then, like, just a couple days later, she came home
And they thought it
and
was
they
a
thought
hoax.
it was a hoax and everything. And then it
Yeah.
turns out it wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty good.
I saw another documentary about that on a different. I think it was maybe on Hulu, and it was either 2 or 3 episodes. I don't remember, but it was really good. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
it was really good. They really dove into it, and
Mhm.
because I had heard about it, and I was like, oh, that's about that lady that.
Oh, I was,
You know.
based on what I had read, I was like, oh, it's a hoax, but
Yeah,
let's watch this. And yeah, it was pretty good.
yeah. But that's all I watched.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I've been playing a lot of Pow World.
What is it?
Pow World. I've got
Oh.
I've got over 22 hours in that fucking game already. So
Carrion, guess what game came today?
What?
Little Nightmares 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a second one.
They're
coming
coming
out
out with the third one this
year.
year.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so far behind when it comes to games.
But yeah, I've been playing Pow World. It's like Pokemon with guns.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's
pretty
like
entertaining game.
Minecraft with
Yeah, there's
Pokemon
like
and
a lot of
guns.
gathering and shit, and then you can literally use your little what they call pals or Pokemon. They're
Mhm.
pals, and you pretty much use them for slave labor.
Mhm.
Like you have a base, and you make them do all the work for you to make you materials and all this stuff, and it's fucking nuts. And if one of them, like, you can kill them if you want, you can do whatever it's fucking insane.
Wow.
Like, I'm surprised. Like, everybody's like, this is why. Like, everybody's like, oh man, that's fucked up. Like, shut up. Like, there are far worse games than that out there. There's no blood in it, and it's
Not yet.
not yet. I'm sure somebody will mod the fuck.
Oh, yeah. They're already modding it to make it look like Pokemon.
Yeah, I know. They've seen one mod where you can turn your character into Ash.
Yeah, and the
Pokemon.
Pokemon, like you can make like Pikachu and shit like that.
That's hilarious. That's fucked up.
Wow.
See, that's how you get sued, right
Yeah.
there. Like,
No shit.
but they can't sue anybody for a mod, so
No,
because it's not official or officially licensed.
Yeah, it's people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing things they want to do.
yeah, doing
Yeah.
whatever they want. Anyway, that's all I've done.
That's all I've done.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric, I watched Terminatrix.
So,
I hate you all. He was chomping at the fucking bit as soon as he watched this. And fucking wow.
I told you. I
My
warned you.
favorite thing about it was that so they pump up this android or whatever at the
Mhm.
beginning of it called Genesis.
What do you mean pump it up?
They talk about it like nonstop
okay.
about how like
No.
great
It
this
was a
thing
blow.
is.
It was
So
a
what do you
blow
mean,
up.
Yeah,
like
they
the-
literally pumped it up.
I was gonna say, they used like a pump and they had to pump him up.
It was
like-
a bike pump.
Yeah.
It was a
But-
blow up doll that turned into a robot.
robot.
Yeah. So like they talk about this thing nonstop like it's the best thing since sliced bread, right? And then this woman gets out of this car and she starts talking to this like military guy, and they have like this full in-depth conversation, and I was so confused. I looked at Jeremiah, I was like, why is she telling this guy all of this stuff like he matters? He's at the front gate. You know what I mean? And then I find out he's like the general that's gonna let her in. And I'm like, well, they could have said something, like that's stupid. But anyway, so they get in. And they talk about this Genesis guy, like he's so amazing. And then he's only in the movie for like the first 10 minutes. And then he's never shown again. And then at the end, he like pops up like he's supposed to be that big baddie in the next one or something. Like, it's so dumb.
Did your brain melt a little bit?
It was, a little bit. The acting,
was it about an hour and a half too long?
It was maybe 20 minutes too long.
20 minutes too long.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty entertaining just for the cheese factor.
Cheese factor, yeah.
But yeah, they could have shot 20 minutes off of it.
How was the
been
cinematography?
Oh, it was amazing.
Was it?
Perfect.
Grade A Hollywood shit, right?
Grade
Beautiful.
A fucking phone.
That's what you find in the dumpster in
Grade
the back
A
of a production
bullshit.
studio.
No, I mean it was great. It was.
Oh man, we could use this, make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the dumpster for a reason.
There was just so many things that you were just like, why though?
Because they were shooting the movie saying, why not?
I guess, but no worse
How was
than
the dialogue?
Oh yeah, that. Okay, I will say that was probably the worst thing, because when you talk about, like, for example, Peter Jackson's early work, his early work was like bad for plot, for whatever, but the dialogue and you were entertained. You know what I mean? Like you were into it because it was entertaining as shit. And so, these kind of movies, there's something to be said because it's kind of entertaining for like the plot and stuff, but like they're doing something wrong when it comes to like dialogue and things. You know what I'm saying?
So was it like Trolls 2 when he's like, oh my god, kind of ordeals?
No, they were at least trying. It was just more so like.
So wait, you recommended that she watch it? You haven't even seen this movie?
No, he didn't recommend it. He just told me this movie is dog shit. You guys all talked about it on here, and then my husband is sitting there watching it going, yeah, we're going to watch this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I threw in the dog bone, and he took the bait.
Yeah.
And she had to suffer the consequence. I did my brotherly duty right there.
I don't know why. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Like, just
no, I'll
take a
watch
nap.
it. I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind. I like shit movies. I like to watch shit movies, but sometimes they're too shit. Like, I have a cutoff. Like, if I get to a half an hour and I'm not entertained by a shitty movie, I'll turn it off. But I do like shitty movies. I do.
So at least you watched it all.
I did. I watched the whole thing. It wasn't so shitty that I turned it off. It was pretty entertaining. Certain parts were pretty entertaining.
Do you recommend
it for the right person?
For people who like shitty, cheesy movies.
Yeah. Like, you might be entertained by it. If you were
No.
drunk or something, you might be entertained by it. I don't know.
You'd have to be pretty hammered. You'd have to watch it with friends.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Like, something like that would be like a good party thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
together, drink a few, and like just
Like
watch some shitty movie. Like watching like the Matrix, or not the Matrix, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That's a good drunk party movie.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite thing too is like that Genesis too. Like, whenever he would talk, they tried to make him sound like this robot, but it was very clearly just a regular person talking with like one of those like, voice things that you give a kid for Christmas, like, so they sound like a robot. Yeah, it was interesting.
I wish we could get our hands on movies that are like in just
Public
public
domain. Get on that
that
archive.
are,
I guarantee you.
and just like we need to start doing
some
shit
watch parties
that.
like that.
Do watch parties like that. Just some really bad shit.
I bet you I could find some on that public domain.
And,
I bet you.
that's what we needed. Instead of like doing a movie once a month, where like a shitty movie, we need to just watch a shitty movie once a month. And
we can do it on Mystery Science Theater style.
Yep.
While we drink. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, finally. It was good, but I kind of didn't care for I know that the whole point was it to be different, but I kind of didn't care for the fact that it was different. That the story wasn't what really happened.
Well, they did the same thing with Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, I get that.
So.
I get that, and I liked it in Inglourious Bastards. I don't know why I didn't like it in Once Upon. I can't explain it. I really can't, because I liked everything about it. I liked when
I think it hit harder in Inglourious Bastards because Adolf Hitler is reviled by every human being on this planet.
Yeah, you want to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, you want to see him get fucked up. But like with Sharon Tate, her not dying, like, yeah, people love Sharon Tate, but they only love her because she was murdered by the Manson family. People before that really didn't know her that well.
You know, that may be partly, it's such a tragic story.
It is tragic, but at the same time, it's not a story that a lot of people resonate or even know anything about.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it doesn't hit as hard for you.
I don't know. I loved all of the things that happened. I loved everything that happened, including the end. It's just that it was like, you know what I think it was? I think it was I hated Leonardo DiCaprio's character. So him walking away, not having anything happen to him, and his friend having everything happen to him, getting hurt and going to the hospital. It was like, this motherfucker deserves something, but no, he's going to go and party with Tate while his friend goes to the hospital.
Right.
Like, that pissed me off. So I think that was probably my problem.
I did love Brad Pitt's character.
Yes, I loved him. And then, he gets to go to the hospital after doing all the hard work the whole fucking movie. Leonardo DiCaprio does nothing but drink and be a prick the whole movie. And then at the end, he gets nothing but gets to go and party with Tate.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I don't like that, I guess.
I don't know. I think it's a great movie, but yeah,
no,
I see what you're saying.
I totally agree with you. I liked the movie, but I feel like that was dissatisfying.
Right.
That part. I wanted to see Brad Pitt like walk away from that. Like maybe he limps or maybe he hurts, but
I get it. Yeah.
Mausoleum, The Initiation, documentary called Jesus Camp.
What?
I get
Is it anything like Bandcamp?
No, it was
only instead of like a flute, it's a crucifix.
No, it was
Sorry,
this guy. They did that on The Exorcist.
Oh yeah, that's right. But it was a little girl.
Well, these are kids.
Oh,
they go to this camp or whatever and
start beating themselves with beads on their back.
Yeah,
it was this guy that does documentaries or watches documentaries and then tells you about him, and he does this blog or whatever. And I watched some of his documentaries that he says you should watch, and this was one of them. And it talks about these kids are learning these things at these camps that are veiled in Christianity and veiled in the right stuff, but really aren't. And so I was watching this documentary, and at first I was like, what are they learning that's so bad? And then like as it went on, I was like, red flag. Red flag. Oh no. So yeah, it was decent. I watched Kids, never seen that one before. I watched Thanksgiving, that was pretty good. Slaughterhouse Rules.
Oh, the slasher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I hate Eli Roth, so that was pretty good.
It was weird, wasn't it? Like to see a movie come out from him that was actually decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse Rules, Family Guy, and Bad Taste, that Peter Jackson movie. That's why I thought of, his early shit. But,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's keep a rolling here. Let's get into our movie.
Let's talk about the movie.
And this week, we watched Nothing But Trouble. Who wants to read it?
I can.
Madison said she wants to read it. Okay. It's not a super long one. I think it's only a few.
I'll say it couldn't be.
Yeah, it's not long.
Nothing But Trouble is not that long of a movie, so it couldn't be that long.
Well, it's not very plot heavy either.
Yeah, it's a very cut and dry kind of movie. It's not very plot heavy. You got a plot synopsis?
While attempting to seduce gorgeous lawyer Diane Lightson, wealthy gadabout Chris Thorne agrees to drive her to Atlantic City, New Jersey. But when some reckless driving draws the attention of a deeply critical cop, they and the flamboyant Brazilianaires who tagged along end up in the court of a grotesque and vengeful judge who has a special vendetta against the wealthy and elite. 1 hour and 34 minutes, comedy, action, and adventure, PG-13. Chevy Chase as Chris Thorne, Dan Aykroyd as the judge and Bobo, John Candy as Dennis and Eldona, Demi Moore as Diane, and that is as far as I'm going to go.
The plot comes courtesy of fandom, just so everybody's aware. I need to start saying that so that
What
people know. The plot comes from fandom.
Oh, yeah.
It's essentially like a wiki for people
Movies.
who are fans of a bunch of shit. Not just movies, actors,
People who don't want
all
to watch
kinds
the
of
movie
stuff.
just want to get the cliff notes.
No,
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
well, fandom's pretty cool actually, because anything like, I would say entertainment related, like even as far as like comic books, authors.
Creepypastas.
Yeah, I mean anything like.
Oh, yeah, I did forget creepypastas were on there.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So anything like that, you can look up on fandom. It's a pretty great site, but I need to start throwing out that certain people like I don't write these, so I don't get online every week and research a new actor or whatever to give you your creator profile. I looked them up on biography.com, and the movie plots all come from fandom. So if they're not good, it's not my fault. That's all I got to say about
Blame
that.
them.
Yeah, blame
Not
them.
us.
I don't even proofread them. I just copy and paste. That looks good to me. Yes, I'm lazy. I have a job and children. Anyway, go
Ready?
ahead. Yep.
Alright. Nothing but trouble. While hosting a party in his Manhattan penthouse, financial publisher Chris Thorne meets lawyer Diane Lightson, who agrees to escort her to consult a client in Atlantic City on the following day. Thorne's client's obnoxious but wealthy Brazilian siblings, Fausto, and Ronaldo, whom he calls Brazilianaires, meet up with him and invite them along. Along the way, Chris takes a supposed scenic detour off of the New Jersey Turnpike, ultimately ending up in the rundown village of Valkenvania.
Mm-hmm.
Failing to comply with the stop sign and subsequently attempting to escape, pursuing Officer Dennis Valkenheiser. The group is captured and taken before Dennis's 106-year-old grandfather, Judge Alvin Valkenheiser.
So the way they were speeding, that right there is jail time regardless.
Oh yeah.
So I love that he like pulled him over and then was like, so you ran through the stop sign back there, and we're going to go ahead and forget about the speeding. It's like, dude, you were in a high-speed chase for like a good solid
There's
5
two
minutes.
reasons.
And
that
going through construction.
He forgave the speeding. One is that Dennis knows what'll happen if he tells Grandpa about the
He'll
speeding.
kill him.
Two, once they were so far out of the village, he has no jurisdiction.
That's true.
Like, he had no right to even be... Like, he could have pulled him over for the stop sign, but to give chase, he didn't have a right. He's only a village constable.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't think about it that way. Like, if his dad or grandpa or whatever would have found out, then yeah, he would have easily...
I mean, they can do whatever the hell they want. They've already, shown that.
Right.
But technically, in every other area of the world, he wouldn't have any jurisdiction. It wouldn't have held up in a normal court.
Who confiscates their identification cards. After Chris makes too many smart alecky remarks, the judges drop a trapdoor out from under them to hold the offenders in his courthouse funhouse to be judged. Later, some disrespectful
Tell the
drunk
squeaky toys.
drivers that tried to threaten Dennis are called before the judge, who sentences them to immediate death at the hands of a deadly roller coaster nicknamed Mr. Bone Stripper.
The scene when they fell through kind of made me think of that movie with fuck, I can't think of his name now. Monster movie.
Oh,
face.
Little Monsters.
Yeah, Little
Oh,
Monsters
yeah,
where
yeah.
they fall into the pit.
Yeah, they fall into the pit of
this-
stuffed animals and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how. Like,
And
can
in
you do that
Monster
with
House.
a pencil? And
Mhm.
I guess if it was lead, maybe.
Yeah, the original lead pencils,
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
You'd have to
Talk
see the
about
movie.
another movie.
Yeah, I've seen it. You've seen Little Monsters. Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember when they have the pencils
And they use that generator.
They create
and
electricity.
creates light.
No, I don't
The-
remember that, but that sounds cool.
Yeah. Real lead, you can do
That
that.
one's in the box though, ain't it?
I don't know.
It should be. That's a good fucking movie. Man.
It is.
That's another one I don't think did very well back whenever it came out.
Should have.
I know me and Cody were obsessed with that movie.
Oh, I
when we
love
were
that
young.
movie.
And that's one of those movies that had like a good moral standing behind it too. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really did. That and
See,
the
back
makeup
in the
effects
day,
and
they
everything
can
were-
make
It's not in
movies
the
like
box
that.
currently.
but it's getting added.
needs to be. It's a good movie.
And it's not on the rolling list, I'll add it.
All right. Well,
We're never gonna get through some of the movies that we need to get through.
No, we'll be
Like-
dead. We'll be long dead before all of these
Yeah,
get
like
pulled.
like some of the movies are like we need to do some of the sequels, the ones that we have done, and everything else. Kind of, but you don't
Cool.
want to do them all back to back from week to week, so you kind of have to.
No,
I think
I'm fine with
eventually-
just pulling this shit randomly.
I think we are too, but I think some of them we need to be like, all right, we need to go ahead and cover that one. Like we've done the first two Alien movies and still haven't even covered the third one,
Mm.
and then we've got like the first two Die Hards and haven't done the other.
I'm okay
ones,
with never covering the third one.
I'm
the
not.
third Alien movie.
I'm not okay with it.
Well, it's okay to talk about shitty movies.
is Predator in there?
I just don't think
Yeah,
my
I think
heart
so.
can take it.
If
don't
you
think
can
your
do
heart-
Terminatrix, you can do Aliens 3.
No, it's not about it being a bad movie. I don't think my heart can take it.
It's the beginning, man.
Yeah, it's the beginning.
What happens in the beginning?
We can't tell you because you haven't seen it.
Grow a pair.
I will
won't
cry,
even remember who
and I
whoever's dying in
will
the beginning is gonna
Probably
be.
just
It's been so
not
long.
even be able to
All
make
right,
it
go
for
ahead
the
and
show.
Grow a pair.
All right, invited
I
up to
can't, I'm a
dinner,
girl.
the group is repulsed by the bizarre food choices involving a hot dog
Just say that
train and a
nowadays.
warm can of Hawaiian punch, but also learns the judge has labeled Chris as a
Hawaiian
banker
punch.
for his
Hawaiian
financial
punch.
Nothing better
affiliations.
after a long day than a warm glass of Hawaiian punch.
and is holding
That was probably one of the funniest things he said in the movie.
and is holding them there out of a revenge for the Valkenheiser family's misfortune at the hands of a corrupt coal deal long before. The group attempts an escape, but due to a series of mishaps, Chris and Diane are overtaken by Alvin's mute granddaughter, Eldona.
Eldona. Mhm.
Alright. Who's also John Candy, by the way, guys, in case you didn't know.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought that
Nuh-uh.
was
That
his
wasn't
sister.
a woman. Yeah. I'm sure that's why she don't speak. She probably sounds like that.
That's the only noise she makes too.
The underwear. You can't see you on this special day. What is it, Halloween?
Right? On this special day. So stupid.
Meanwhile, being chased by Dennis's trigger-happy cousin, Miss Perda. Perda?
Perda. Yeah, they
Perda.
never actually say her name in the show, or in the movie, but that is her name.
Who?
The
cousin.
Ditch Witch.
Oh, the cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The two Brazilianaires escape by cutting a deal with Dennis, who decides to escape with them. The judge is angered by their actions and imprisons Chris and Diane in a room from which the pair eventually escapes, again with the help from Dennis, and getting lost through hidden hallways and slides become separated. Diane makes it out of the house and into the property's salvage yard. Here she meets the two troll-like creatures by the name of Bobo
Troll?
and Lil
They
Devil.
look more like babies.
Yeah.
They kind of do look like trolls, though.
Troll babies. They
Giant,
got those little curls,
Yeah.
and they're wearing diapers. Like,
Yeah, they look like giant troll babies.
Did you know it
Yeah.
was Devil, not
Yeah,
Deadbolt?
Devil.
Yeah, Devil.
I thought it
Devil.
was Devil.
everybody
No.
says devil.
It's devil.
Oh,
It's devil.
thought it was
Little devil.
Like, remember when they were playing cards, and he's like, I get Diane, and she's like, no, little devil. Yeah.
That shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite. Like that scene was one of my favorite parts. With actually one of my favorite things in the movie. Like that scene was like her playing cards with them.
That's kind of why I changed my mind, because I started about like which
Yeah,
movie.
because her
So it's-
goofing off at that scene was
Yeah.
really good.
Well, that and the other part, whenever she gets angry, cracks me up. I don't know why, but like when she goes down that slide And then she like goes up and she's like, Chris, get your ass down here. Like that cracks me up every time. Her you don't see her do comedy very often.
No, and she does it very well.
Yeah.
Like even the part where she finally gets away from like Bobo and Little Devil, and she's like talking to the constable, or not the constable, the old man. What's his name?
Alvin.
Reeve.
Yeah,
The
the
Reeve.
Reeve. And, like she's talking to him, she's like patting him, she's all nervous.
Yeah.
And stuff. Like that right there was like that was good comedic
Yeah.
acting for me, and I'm like I think she's doing really well. So
Oh yeah.
that's why I think she was even with Dan Aykroyd behind all that makeup and everything, still didn't hold a candle to her and her comedic shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like yeah,
There's
get he was
actually a
bringing
good
it,
reason
but-
for that with Dan Aykroyd. He really felt like he was spread thin because he had to direct and play 2 roles.
Yeah.
And he was really just miserable.
Oh, I'm sure.
On
What
this.
2 roles was he playing?
He played.
He played Bobo and Alvin.
and the Reeve.
Oh, I didn't know where they're played by the same people.
Yeah, he played one of the troll babies.
And who?
The Reeve,
The judge.
the judge,
Oh, okay.
and he was the director,
He had the
and
penis
the
nose.
story, and he wrote the screenplay. His brother, I believe, wrote the
The guy that played
story.
Mike the Doorman.
Mhm.
That was his brother.
Oh, that was his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love how he always puts I love like in Chevy Chase movies how Bill Murray's brother's always in the movie, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
Bill
Oh
Murray,
yeah.
because they don't like each other.
Well,
Bobo-
because he always has Chevy Chase in there somewhere, and they can't stand each other. The closest they ever did was Caddyshack, and that was only because Harold Ramis did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Bobo and Little Devil, the judge's severely deformed grandchildren. Earning the creature's friendship, Diane catches glimpses of Eldona destroying Chris's BMW. Meanwhile, Chris sneaks into the judge's quarters, but is quickly caught. Valcanizer punishes him according to house policy, which decrees that Chris must marry Eldona. Meanwhile, in the courtroom, the alternative rap group Digital Underground is being held on charges of speeding, but the judge releases them after being charmed by an
Impromptu.
impromptu performance of
I love
one
that
of the
Digital
group's
Underground
hits.
was in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He also asked them
That guy
to
with the
stay.
glasses.
Yeah.
He also
Look on
asked
a
them to
big-ass
stay as
nose.
witness for the wedding, which Chris reluctantly goes
hell's he
through
do?
with
Just
in
tan his-
exchange
just his
for his
nose?
life,
That's probably the most I've ever seen Tupac
Fake
smile
nose.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but is later caught pleading with the band to help him escape. The band leaves without understanding him, and Alvin
I was nervous at
sentences
my
him-
wedding, too, man.
And Alvin sentences Chris to die in Mr. Bone Stripper, the roller coaster. The machine breaks down the instant before Chris is fed into it, and he escapes.
I'm sorry. Was that expensive piece?
Probably
I
not.
think it was. I love how he comes out the other side and he's like
Starts-
bleeding the whole way. He's like, "Thank you, Lord." That's probably his best comedic timing because he's like, pleading the whole way through.
He gets
He
out.
gets
He's
the other
still
side,
bleeding.
He's pleading the whole way, and then he gets out. Thank you, Lord.
That's it too. That's all. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. Like he's on the verge of crying in tears, and then he gets up. Thank you, Lord.
Like you didn't see that, right? We're
Yeah, like we're good.
still.
No, it's fine. All
I
that's
respect you. You respect me, right?
Man. Which Chris reluctantly goes through with in exchange for his life, but later is caught pleading with the band to help him escape. The band leaves without understanding him, and Alvin sentences. I already read all that, didn't I?
Mhm.
Yes.
Dang. The machine breaks down the instant before Christmas is fed into it, and he escapes. The judge nearly kills Diane with another claw contraption, but Chris retrieves her at the last second, and the two jump on a train back to New York. After the two report their plight to the authorities, the judge's courthouse is raided by local and state police. Chris and Diane are asked to accompany the officers to the site, only to find out that the officers involved are fully aware and in league with the judge. The couple escapes when the area's underground coal fires cause a collapse, destroying the town. The Brazilianaires are shown to have made their way back to South America. Dennis is now their head of security, and Ronaldo's lover. Ronaldo?
Mhm.
Ronaldo. Chris and Diane are shown relaxing in New York. Chris's relief does not last, however, as he stumbles on a televised news segment covering the ruined town of Valkenvania, in which Falkenheiser brandishes Chris's driver's license, announces that he and his family plan to move in with his new grandson-in-law in New York, saying, "See you soon, banker." Chris runs away panicking while making a cartoon-style impression of himself through a wall.
Damn.
The end. No, you won't.
Yeah, no, he won't.
All right.
Is it me or did the judge have a penis for a nose?
He did.
Oh, absolutely.
There was even one
It's
scene
on
where it
purpose.
was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was on purpose.
Yeah.
And in the scene where he was on the newscast was.
I think there's at least 3
I had
times
to-
that you're supposed to.
I had to rewind it for him whenever he's eating the hot dog. Well,
Yeah.
it's not a hot dog; it's a fucking sausage.
Yeah.
But he's eating it, and he's like, and I look back, I was like, "Did you guys catch it?" And Anda's like, "Catch what?" So I rewinded it for him. I was like, "Did you catch that time?"
Yeah.
I was like,
Did you
"His
see
nose
it?"
is a penis."
Yeah.
Shit was funny.
And they keep calling them hot dogs, so I think that they are supposed to be hot dogs. So, like, what do you guys think they're made out of, actually?
They look like sausage.
They do, but, like, I'm thinking that they're supposed to be hot dogs, like maybe homemade hot dogs. Like, what did they put in them?
Human meat.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's where all the
Human
the
remains.
meat
that's
from
what
the
I'm
Bone
thinking.
Ripper-
Like, because this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre with comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I thought it was. Like, this is definitely like some Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Mhm.
shit with some comedy elements.
Yeah, if it wasn't comedic, it'd be Texas Chainsaw Massacre all
Yeah.
over again.
Well, that's what I even said. I was like, it's a comedy, I guess. I was like, but you could also consider it kind of comedy horror, like a horror comedy.
Well, sure. I mean, if you were in that situation, it'd be scary as hell. But
It was.
It's
not
funny to
scary.
watch.
Them
But it's
bone-
definitely played up for laughs.
Them
obviously.
bones came out really, really clean.
oh, I love
They
that
did,
over the
yeah.
topness of it. Like those bones just coming out. You see
Yeah.
that entire like top
Yeah.
torso just come out clean.
Yeah.
I
Still,
love
still
it.
together, not in bones, separate bones. It's
Oh, for
still
sure.
put together.
But I'll tell you what, that Mr. Bone Stripper was probably the coolest like way to kill somebody I've ever seen. Like that was the coolest thing ever.
They just use old pistons that are like had teeth ground into them or
Uh-huh.
something. Like,
Yeah.
And then other stuff was behind the pistons if you looked, like blades and
yeah,
shit.
blades and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then the metal music playing the whole
Mhm.
time, like the
Oh,
heavy
yeah,
rock.
Mr. Bone Stripper.
Which Baldwin was that? That
Daniel.
Daniel Baldwin. Yeah. Okay, I was like, that's one of the Baldwins. I know it's one of them. I don't know which one. There's so many fucking Baldwins.
I would have loved to have that condiment train though. I would really like to have that condiment.
That's what I
train.
thought too. I don't know why people were so weird about it. I was like, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
want that at my dinner table.
Although
I love the pickles that are just
that
like
would be really
on
hard to
sticks.
You get
clean
shot.
though, unless you can take those things apart.
If they ever make a
How do
parody,
you clean inside?
I don't know.
if they
I
ever
just not
make
thought
a,
of that.
if they ever make a parody of Alice in Wonderland, I hope that Tweedledee and Tweedledum look like Bobo and
Little
Little
Devil.
Devil.
Little Devil.
That's pretty
Bobo and
funny.
Little Devil.
Yeah, because that's who
They are my
reminded me of.
my favorite part of this whole movie though.
Yeah.
Bobo and Little Devil.
I didn't like how Diane and Chevy Chase met. I mean, I guess I can't say I didn't like it. I just thought it was weird. They meet in an elevator. She steals his papers that look very important. And gives him a bag of dog shit, and he's just okay with it.
Right.
And then she comes
Not a very
to
good
his,
banker, is he?
you know. And so then she comes to his apartment and basically just says, "Let me borrow your car. We met 5 seconds ago. Let me borrow your car."
He's just looking at her like, damn, you're hot. So-
Right. And then like,
She's
so it
probably
paints
used
men
to-
like they're just
Tools.
willing. Yeah, like they're willing
Well,
to do whatever.
I mean, Chevy Chase, though,
sure,
he kind of is a tool. So, I mean,
I guess, but like, and then the next day he's like almost just this close to being like, yeah, she can take the car.
until he sees her come out of the elevator.
Right.
He's like, damn.
It's just, it's such a, maybe it's because I'm a woman, I guess, but I don't know. I'm watching this whole thing go down and I'm like, no.
No.
I'd be like, where are you going with my papers? Here's your dog shit. Give me my papers
Here's
back.
your dog shit.
Like,
Yeah.
Bitch.
And your fucking espresso machine.
yeah, espresso machine.
He said, thanks for the espresso machine and the shit.
In the bag of shit.
Yeah, in the bag of
Was
shit.
I mean, it was funny.
Was there literally like a
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had
it
a
was
bag,
a
of shit.
dog
Yeah, it was
shit.
a dog,
And
a bag of
espresso
dog
machine
shit.
that she handed him.
Why?
Because she had taken her dogs out, and she probably cleaned up their shit, had their shit in a baggie
Yeah.
To get rid of.
to get rid of.
Oh.
Yeah,
Don't
I
ask me why she was carrying
literally-
it back up to her apartment.
They're
Yeah,
like, why
you-
I'm
wouldn't
sure
she
there's a
just
trash
throw-
can out
right.
on the fucking out on the sidewalk.
I thought the
somewhere.
same thing. Like when she walked in with it, I'm like, I'm sure there's trash cans like right outside your building.
Yeah,
I'm
for
sure
that
there is,
reason.
yeah.
specifically.
Maybe she's the type of person that's a compost person.
Ugh.
No, I didn't see that in
No,
her.
I don't think so. She's way too hoity-toity.
Yeah,
She was wearing white.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
white.
Yeah. She
White.
didn't look like somebody that
White.
smelled like a fucking hemp bracelet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Why are
white.
you doing that?
white.
Doing what?
Doing what?
Doing what?
I think
So much emphasis on the
will.
I
H.
will. I think John Candy's arc as Dennis was probably my favorite. I really liked his character, Dennis, and I liked the fact that he ran off
Yeah,
and let them leave
Yeah.
and became their security because he was like, "Fuck this,
and
fuck
started
that,
banging the
I'm
sister.
out."
He's like,
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck this, I'm
she's
out."
like, and my lover.
Yeah, he's like a badass. Like he's like, all right, you know what? I'm way too cool for this shit. I'm out. I'm gonna go bang this hot chick, and you guys can
And-
kiss
and
my
be
ass.
rich.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, you guys can kiss my ass. I'm gonna go with these Brazilianaires.
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian.
They were probably my favorite too. They were hilarious.
They were pretty funny.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I bet you didn't think that we would be up this early, did you? Noon.
Noon.
We set up a special date and all this for you. You don't want to take
Yeah, you offered to take us on a drive, and you're not even driving us where we want to go.
You can
And-
tell they're rich.
Oh yeah. And that attic scene gave me serious Texas Chainsaw vibes. Like when they get to
Yeah.
that attic was really weird because like they see all those IDs and everything, and
Mhm.
I was like, "Yep,
Mhm.
there it is again."
I'm sure he had to have drawn some inspiration
for
from
sure.
that.
Like
And-
so, the dinner scene and the attic scene are like the two biggest ones for me, I guess.
Well, the house in general, like it's just clutter everywhere. It's
Mhm.
fucking dirty.
Mhm.
You know, there's holes in the walls. Hell, there's
Mhm.
bones in the walls.
Oh yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
They don't even try to hide it. Like
No.
especially once you get up there,
Yeah, once you're in the house, you're in the house.
Mhm.
yeah.
And I love how like he goes up there, like when he gets out of the attic and he sees Alvin like taking like his hair off and everything,
Yeah.
and he pulls his nose off. So that's a fake nose. He chose that nose. to
That's what I
wear.
thought too. Like, you chose that.
He
nose?
chose
Like,
a dick.
Didn't
He
one
chose
of
to
them
wear a
literally
dick on
Probably
his face.
use
his
that nose
dick.
Rubber?
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
maybe his dick fell off, so he put it on his face because
Yeah.
he didn't want to lose it.
Maybe.
I think that's what it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And the one thing I really like the Mr. Bone Stripper, but as cool as they were and all the other cool stuff that they had, you'd think they'd have more than one trick up their sleeve.
Right. Then they had this like these blades hanging above this big board. I'm like, that's really. And then all these barrels of gasoline for absolutely no reason.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Like, and he had all these other buttons on that piano. Like, what'd the other buttons do?
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe they just hadn't gotten around to making something for him.
I don't know.
I mean, that guy is pretty old. He's got a lazy granddaughter. Probably a lazy cousin. She seems...
I don't know. She seemed a little too gun happy. I did like that she died though. 'Cause she fell down into the
She was
pit.
really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that she died. I don't even know. They didn't even show what happened to the granddaughter.
I think
I-
she's still alive.
I'd assume she's still alive.
Yeah.
So
I loved that I loved all the sayings that Alvin had. Like, what was the one that he said to Diane? You just put the pie in the party hog now.
yeah, he says all kinds of weird.
Yeah, all of those little sayings, and I had to write that one down because I'm like, I'm not gonna remember any of these, but they are cracking me up.
Yeah.
That one cracked me up. They all cracked me up. I want to talk like that.
Talk like that. I just want to say all this weird shit all the time.
And what purpose that machine that they had Diane under with the 3 blades? What
Yeah.
purpose other than that does that serve?
That's what I thought too. I'm like, what is the purpose of this other than that? Like,
It's a chopped watermelon.
Other than chopping up people, it's for chopping up watermelon.
maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I
A
guess
little double and boba. That's what they like to eat.
Mm.
Watermelon.
like watermelon. And then like the part where they offer ants on a log,
Yeah.
and she's like, no.
He's
Like, what's so bad about ants on a log, dude?
It's
Like
just raisins,
it's-
peanut butter,
yeah,
I
and
think
celery.
he just
celery.
wouldn't
Peanut
want
butter
to
and
eat
celery.
anything that they serve.
That
maybe.
looked like
Maybe.
the only thing that was
I'm
good.
gonna say
I
that
know.
looked like the only tasty thing. I'm like, fuck, that looks good. I'd eat
I know.
that.
I like how he's like, like, you want to eat this, you don't want to eat what's coming. You want to eat this, and she's like, okay.
Mhm.
I don't have any notes on this. I don't really. There's not a lot to unpack with this movie. You just kind of. It's one of the movies.
I
that
kind
you
of just wrote down the things that cracked me up or that I
Yeah.
thought was funny.
It's
Like,
it's just one of the movies that you can't really unpack too much. It's just the movie that you really
there's
just
really not
you
a
have
lot
to
to
watch
it.
yeah.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's all about what's on screen
Yep.
and
Mhm.
like there's not a lot of like there are some good one-liners in it, but not maybe a handful.
I did like at the end those noises he was making when he was having that nightmare. Squeezy.
He
Yeah,
honestly-
it's kind to me.
also-
She said that's what you sound like whenever you're sleeping.
That's
That's
what
hilarious.
Chevy Chase does that a lot in a lot of his movies, though, where he does that mumbling.
No, it was more like the when he was making those like noises because it sounded a lot like he was trying to sound like Alvin, and it was making me laugh just because like it was Chevy Chase trying to sound like Dan Aykroyd trying to sound like that old man, you know. So it's like third party, like way third party old man noises.
I don't know. I just think I got to say that Bobo and Little Devil were my favorite parts of the
Mhm.
movie, along with Demi Moore. I thought she was great. It kind of makes me want to go back and try to watch more with her in it, because I didn't watch enough of her movies. But like, I guess the string of movies that she really was in, I didn't.
She
really
did too
care
much
for.
drama for me.
She
Like
did a lot of
everything,
drama. Yeah.
everything else, like, you know, I would say if you're interested, you should try to find One Crazy Summer. I think I have it. Maybe I might have it on Blu-ray. I can't swear to you I do, because it's not one of those movies that are, like a lot of. You remember Better Off Dead? It had a John
Fucking
Cusack in it
hilarious
too,
movie.
and it had
$2.
yeah, there's a kid. He's like a newspaper
yeah.
kid, and he's like chasing him all through the movie trying to get $2, and his girlfriend breaks up with him. That's where Better Off Dead comes from, because he's trying to kill himself out throughout the movie because she broke up with him. And then he finds this other girl, and
It sounds familiar.
it's really funny. That director is the same one that did One Crazy Summer.
I probably
Better
have
Off
seen
Dead.
that.
Better Off Dead is more famous, but
Right.
to me, One Crazy Summer is funnier and better. And if you're interested in seeing her in a comedic movie beyond this, I recommend that one.
Kid
I'll have
chases
to
him
check
down
it
a
out
mountain.
sometime.
There's a part in it where they're trying to beat up John Cusack's character. This is my favorite part with Demi Moore in that movie. They're gonna beat up John Cusack's character, and she steps in front, and she's like, "I wouldn't do that." And they're like, "Why? Do you know karate or something?" And she's like, "No, I know Dow." And they're like, "What's Dow?" And she's like, "Dow is the name of the company that makes mace." And then she pulls out mace and maces them all, and they run. So it's just, you know,
That
Yeah.
sounds familiar to me. I think I might have seen that clip somewhere.
maybe.
Not close to like the most famous from that movie.
My favorite part in the whole movie is that Bobcat part where he's
Mhm.
like, "Were you the little fat boy?" No,
That's
I used to
another
grab
thing.
him. Why are you so fat? Why are you so fat?
That's another thing I might watch it for, is just because of Bobcat.
Oh, his character in that movie is hilarious too. Like
He's hilarious
there's
in
so
everything
many
he
good
does.
funny parts in that movie. But to me, her comedy is much better in this movie. But the comedy in that movie is really good.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
I'll have to check it out.
I haven't seen it in a long ass
You guys
time.
good on all your notes, or do you have?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
good.
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 Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and rate this movie.
Let's rock out this bitch.
Let's start with Madison. Madison, what do you think of Nothing But Trouble?
It didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. I didn't really know what way I thought it was gonna go.
How do you mean?
I mean, like, I didn't know they would end up in some house sliding down a slide into a pile
Oh.
of bones. So,
You didn't think
You
that
didn't
was
expect the movie that you got?
no, I didn't. I still liked it, though.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good movie. It was entertaining. I liked the quippy comments.
Okay.
I give it a 7.
7.
Yeah.
That sounds fair. I think for me, I've seen this movie several times. I love Demi Moore. I don't think I cared as much about the movie until this watch because obviously you pay more attention when you're trying to review it. And I never paid that much attention to Demi Moore. I was just watching because it's got Chevy Chase in it. Well, Chevy Chase is kind of a dick, but like watching Demi Moore in it this time, I really, really enjoyed her performance, and I thought she was funny as shit. Yeah.
She's definitely a higher rank of comedy in this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It was to the camera before.
Chevy seems like he's phoning it in.
Yeah, he kind of does a little bit, and I feel bad.
You
for
don't
Dan
realize
Aykroyd.
that as a kid, or you don't notice it.
You just know it's got Chevy Chase in it. He thinks he's just putting asses in seats at this point.
Yeah.
But I think her and Bobo and Little Devil were my favorites by far, and of course John Candy. I love John Candy. Anything he's in, I love. I love John Candy.
Mm-hmm. He's the first celebrity I remember being so sad when he died.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He's dead?
Yeah, he's dead. He died
like 94.
Yeah, he was 94 something like that.
He died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
I thought he was
died
still
in his
alive
bed.
this whole time.
No.
Yeah, he died in his sleep.
Was he old?
No.
Yeah, he was like 43.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't quite 50.
He was only 43.
Dang.
Yeah, he was young.
45 maybe. Yeah, he was pretty young yet. He was actually in the middle of filming a movie.
Yeah, it was some western.
It was a western movie.
Yeah, it was a western comedy or something. And then they tried to do it with Chris Farley, and he died in the middle of it, and then they kind of shelved it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna agree with Madison. I give it a 7. I think a 7's a good fair rating. Like it's not like the best comedy ever or anything, but I love the gritty. Like the house looks very disgusting and very lived in, and I like that. It looks like something that you'd find in like Wrong Turn or some shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a very dirty, dingy house, cluttered with just a bunch of trash and bullshit, or like a bunch of pack rats.
Yeah.
And I like it for that reason. I like how dirty and dingy the movie is. I think it shows a lot for production. Like they made the extra effort to make it look that way, and I like it. So yeah, 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair too.
Karen?
I would go. I'm gonna go with my negatives first. So the one that I noticed right off the bat, and I don't know why I'm noticing this stuff all of a sudden, but like when they were driving, and I saw out the window that it was fake.
Yeah.
I don't know why that bothers me all of a sudden, but it drives me nuts.
I saw that too, and I was like, why didn't they just film
just
this?
don't show me outside then. Just show me the interior, you guys talking or something. Just don't show it to me. If you can't afford to just have like them really driving, then don't do it.
Right.
And then
I don't understand why they couldn't anyway. That drives me nuts. Like, why do you need a set for something like this with a green screen or whatever? And
well, what they usually do is they have like a rolling screen outside of the car, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, but they didn't for this one. This was definitely a green screen.
No,
thing.
absolutely. So like the rolling screens look better.
Right.
But I didn't like that. I didn't care for Chevy Chase's performance, but I don't really grade much on Chevy Chase because whatever.
He's pretty much the same in every movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had something else, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe I'll come back to it. But one thing that I really loved is that there's a lot of background stuff that if you're paying attention, it really sets up that they've been doing this for so long. You know, like they had the Jimmy Hoffa ID. You have all of these things in the house that show you that they have all of these like traps. You know, like
I think they said they had been doing it since the 20s or 40s,
something like that. Because they had like the trap where they almost got smushed going up to the attic.
Yeah.
So there's like this fun house going on in the house where these people could die at any moment just walking through the house. So you get that sort of I can't even think of a good movie, but those movies where people end up in houses like that and never get out, or they get out and they're running for their lives and stuff.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
There you go. Except done good. But yeah, so like I don't know, I like the fact that there's a lot of this stuff going on in the background and done very well even for a comedy. And I really liked the dynamic with Diane and Bobo and Little Devil. I really wish there was a little bit more of that, I guess.
I do too. I think that they could have filled in the movie a little bit more with that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And I love Dan Aykroyd in this movie. I think that you can tell that he's kind of worn a little bit, but I really liked him in the movie just because you can tell that it's his, I guess. And yeah, I think 7's fair, so I'm gonna come in with you guys and say 7.
Okay.
He's like, my turn.
So, really, this movie has been something I've watched since I was really young. I've always enjoyed watching, going back and watching the Little Devil, Bubba, and seeing how they interact with Demi Moore. The comedy in this movie is
The music that they play whenever they're on
the
screen.
music. I don't know. It's just a movie that I've always really enjoyed watching. So I'm going to come in at 7.5. Coming in a little different than you guys, but so
yeah,
that's it for me.
You're allowed to like it a little more than us.
That's fine.
It's okay.
I almost gave 7.5 too, but
I almost gave it a 6.5, honestly, but I was like, it's not really a 65% movie, though. To me.
No.
It's definitely like a C-rated movie.
Yeah.
So.
I think that, yeah, the only reason I gave 7 is because of damn driving. I don't know why it bothers me so much.
Driving.
All of a sudden, 7.125 is the aggregate.
That's not bad.
Mm-mm.
Not for this movie. What kind of trivia you got there? Or no, sorry, not yet. Too soon.
We're gonna do with a 62.
Hold on now. I think Karen should do it this week.
Oh, okay.
I want to guess scores sometimes. I never get it on the
can do
fun.
that.
I never get it on the fun.
I'm still
Hold
saying
on, let me
62.
get to.
Don't let Eric see it.
Hold on.
I haven't seen the score or nothing, so
Here, I'll just face
I'm not,
this way.
I
while
haven't
Karen
cheated
does
or
it.
anything.
How's that sound?
Hold
I
on.
literally don't look it up until it's time. I almost forget to look it up every time.
I have to get somewhere real quick with this.
Eric, I don't think you're gonna see it, man.
It's alright. I don't want you guys to ever think I'm cheating. I'm just going to face right here.
Oh, is that what I should do too?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Me and my once every 2 months win?
Psst.
Why you sound so angry about it?
No shit. So much hostility.
Sorry, I had to get that all
I can't help
updated,
it.
or else I'd forget. I know me.
I think for critics it's gonna be
42. No, I'm just kidding.
Are we doing Rotten Tomatoes still?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a minute since I've done it.
I think for me I'm gonna go because this wasn't a critical it was kind of
If
a
you
flop.
want to go like back and forth every week or something, I can.
I always thought we could go around the table.
Yeah,
or
I don't
whatever,
really
so
care.
It's up to you
That's
guys
fine.
however you want to do it. I just never get to guess, and I'm like,
yeah,
man,
no, that's totally.
I
fine.
miss out on some of the fun.
Yeah,
62.
Hold on.
I'm gonna go 48.
So this is
42.
critics.
Yeah,
All right,
42.
so 42.
48.
62.
What was yours again?
42.
You got it. It's 15.
15.
Damn.
Oh my
Good
god.
lord, man.
These critics hated that movie.
No shit. I was thinking it's probably in the 40s.
They're wrong. All right, audience.
Oh, audience.
I think the audience is gonna like it a little more.
I don't know.
42.
I'm going to probably say.
I'm gonna stick with my number and say 48 on that.
I'll say 53.
Joseph, 48.
Is it 48?
Seriously?
It's 48.
Hell yeah. See, I knew I was good at this shit. I never get to play.
I never get to play. You guys never let me have any fun.
48.
Well, there was my once every 2 months win.
How do I get
It's
to
only
the damn
been one.
audience?
You have to scroll all the way down, and
I am all the way down.
or you can even click under the audience score. They have the reviews under
Oh,
that.
damn.
You can just click under that.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it faster.
You can find.
There are no featured reviews for Nothing But Trouble because the movie is not yet released.
What?
What?
That's strange.
It gives me the option for view all critic reviews, but audience reviews for Nothing But Trouble, there's nothing.
Let me see if I can.
See? Here. That's what it shows me at the bottom.
Yeah, scroll all the way to the top and
Okay.
go under the critic review, under the score. I think it might have. Sometimes it'll have it under the score that you can
Oh,
click.
under the... Okay.
Under the actual score, it'll say
It's
like
been so long
reviews.
since I've done this. Ah, there it is. Got it. Sorry. All right.
There's got to be a lot of negatives.
There is. Well, this is the first one. 1 star. This might be the worst movie I've ever seen. I went to see it because of the great cast, but the whole movie has everybody stuck in this mansion where nothing funny happens at all. Candy dresses up in drag and has no lines and is not funny. Aykroyd wears scary makeup and is disgusting, not funny. I kept hoping that Chase and Moore would escape from the mansion and drive away to a better movie. This movie stole 2 hours of my life from me. It's not even 2 hours.
Fuck your own face!
Say that again.
Fuck your own face!
Oh, it's the
okay.
TV.
Here you go. This is a 5-star. It just says mate. Just watch it.
Mate, just watch it.
Sorry, I just had to read that one. Oh, here you go. 1 star. Oof. So goddamn cringe. I mean, I grew up with this ridiculous movie endlessly on cable, so I have a tiny bit of a soft spot for it, but I'm not sure what entertainment you can get from the outside of that. I mean, unless dick noses are the kind of thing that really get you going.
They do a little bit, actually.
Oh.
Who doesn't like a good dick nose?
I thought that was Chris Hemsworth.
Ooh.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth with like a dick nose.
This is a half
Oh.
star. Not worth the half star I've given it. I saw this when it originally came out while I was in high school. Recently watched it again in 2022, and both times it made me antsy and unable to sit still. It remains completely incomprehensible to this day. Bad movies happen. This is one of them. You should avoid it. This is more an exercise in throwing shit at a wall to see what sticks. Terry Gilliam may be the only person out there who can actually break this down into something sensible, or at least give you the philosophical subtext.
But this is probably one of those guys that's like, but Blade Runner is a really good movie. Even though you can't understand anything they say or what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on throughout half the movie.
I don't know. These are kind of all saying the same thing, just that it's a terrible movie, but like, why?
Then fuck
You
them.
know?
We don't even want to hear from them, Karen. Because we're better than that, dude.
I kind of like the, throw shit at a wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, I do that with noodles.
Do you?
No.
I hear you. That's how you find out if they're done.
Yeah, no, I don't, because I like them a little harder than.
I wait for one of my
Like al
kids.
dente?
Yeah.
I wait for one of my kids to walk around the corner and I'll see if it sticks on their face.
You just throw it at them. Yeah.
Here's a half
I
star.
can't drop
Why did
noodles
anyone make
whenever I-
this? Why did anyone think of this?
I can't drop noodles whenever I make spaghetti because Crixus will swoop in and pick it up and take off with it.
He likes noodles.
He does. I don't know
Alright.
why.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's
Even
it?
Because
if
they're all
like-
pretty much saying the same shit.
Yeah, they
like
all-
they're
yeah,
kind
they're
of
like, this
boring.
movie wasn't
Stuff,
good.
He'll still pick 'em
They're
up
kind
and
of
take 'em
boring.
off.
There
All right.
wasn't any about Paul Rudd even.
No, nothing. The Paul Rudd wasn't in it.
I know.
Don't worry,
It
he's
was-
in that new Ghostbusters.
That's
though.
the only legit one they could have said.
Yeah.
Meh.
What?
That's meh.
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 Eh.
Or was it Jerry's fault?
It might have been Jerry's fault. Probably was Jerry's fault. Has he started helping with housework yet? Then it's probably fucking Jerry's fault.
Yeah.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
All right, so for trivia, Nothing But Trouble. Chevy Chase did not like the script. Weird. But took the leading role because he wanted to work with his friend Dan Aykroyd and thought they could improve the movie by improvising. Chase later said that Aykroyd took a huge career hit when the movie bombed because he had taken on so many roles, director, writer, actor, and producer, and that no one else had a high enough profile to take blame for how bad things turned out. This movie was based on Dan Aykroyd's personal experiences. In 1978, he was pulled over for speeding in a rural town in northeastern United States. The police officer took him to the local justice of the peace in the middle of the night for a trial. The script caught the attention of Warner Brothers, who wanted John Candy to co-star. Aykroyd wanted to play the parts of Judge Falkenheiser and Chris Thorne, but the studio wanted Chevy Chase to play Thorne, and Aykroyd agreed. With no director attached, Aykroyd said he would direct the film to secure the deal, even though he didn't want to direct. After John Hughes, John Landis, and Ivan Reitman all declined to direct, Aykroyd knew that the only way to get the film greenlighted by Warner Brothers was ultimately to direct it himself.
I can't believe Ivan Reitman turned it down.
I know, right?
Maybe he don't like Chevy Chase either.
A lot of them don't. He felt a tremendous amount of pressure directing, writing, and co-starring. Many speculated this film a failure was the reason he never directed again, as most actors who direct have usually directed more than one film. However, the main reason is he never saw himself as director to begin with, even with this film, hence why he has never directed again. Bertilia, DeMoss, and Taylor Negrin spent a lot of time with one another during pre-production, rehearsing and building their characters together as they portrayed brother and sister in the film. In fact, they actually wrote much of their own dialogue with Dan Aykroyd's approval.
Brother and sister.
Ronaldo and Fausto.
Oh,
the Brazilianaires.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I just thought that they wrote pretty much all of their dialogue. It's kind of funny.
They did, really?
Yeah. Like they're sitting in the back of the seat. You're not even taking us where we want to go. Aykroyd proved to be very popular with the crew for listening to and enacting all of the crazy ideas they threw at him, including the bone stripper and the dinner table with the built-in model train set serving food. But while the crew had a blast making the movie as grotesquely absurd as possible, it also caused the film to go over budget. Warner Brothers execs had weekly meetings with Aykroyd pleading for him to rein things in, but didn't act themselves because they were already distracted with another troubled production, The Bonfire of the Vanities. This film only made approximately $8.5 million, but the budget was estimated at $40 million. I mean, that's why most actors don't direct, especially one like Aykroyd.
Yeah,
he's a creative person. He's not. Yeah, he's gonna look at those people with all those ideas and go, "Yeah, that sounds great."
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
because he's never directed before, so he's never been put in a position where he had to make
final
creative decisions.
Because if they're gonna look at him and say, like, "Let's have a train with condiments," he's gonna go,
"Yeah,
let's
sounds
do
awesome.
that.
Yeah,
let's have a roller coaster that kills people. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Yeah, that's exactly what it is too. And you're not wrong. Like he's not a director. He's an actor.
He never saw himself as one.
Yeah, so I guess you can't really hold him accountable. I mean,
you can, but
to an extent,
but you can't really blame him. I guess
right. Or his hands being kind of forced, I suppose.
Yeah. The film was originally darker and a tad bit more graphic. However, when test audiences reacted poorly, the film was re-edited and its release date was pushed back. Warner Brothers considered the film a mess and pressured Aykroyd to tone down the cartoonish violence to avoid an R rating, which in turn caused the release date to be pushed back from Christmas 1990 to February 1991. Much of the script's bizarre characters and events, such as the giant mutant babies, were based on a series of dreams Aykroyd was having, and he set the story in a fictional town of Vulcanvania, which was loosed basically on the town of Centralia in Pennsylvania.
He had a dream of them babies?
Yeah.
That poor guy.
You don't have dreams like that? Like,
did you just fart?
fever
I don't
dreams?
have dreams.
Nice.
Nasty.
It's only nasty because you're just sitting next to him.
I know.
As a man, though.
You want to switch
Nice.
chairs?
Huh?
You want to switch chairs?
No.
Damn.
We all have dedicated seats here.
Damn it.
This ain't musical chairs, Karen.
Come on.
But we
you
like
want to switch
that
chairs?
game. Yeah, I'll switch chairs.
The only ones that can switch chairs is me and Joseph because they're the same chairs.
No.
Rick Moranis was the second choice for the role of Chris Thorne in case Chevy Chase would have turned it down.
I would have loved him in that role instead.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he would have had much better comedic
Oh,
timing.
for sure. He'd have been so much funnier.
Although I don't know about the chemistry between him and Demi Moore.
I bet it would work out. The only problem is he doesn't look the type. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he doesn't look like a banker. He doesn't look like a big shot.
like a douchey big shot banker. Yeah, he's more like your...
he would have the comedic timing, but he doesn't look the part.
Right, yeah. I agree. So they'd have to kind of rewrite the script, I think, a little bit for that.
Rick Moranis. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, I know
Dark
what you're
helmet.
talking about.
Dark helmet.
Honey, I Shrunk
Ludicrous
the
Speed.
Kids.
Yeah.
Go! Jeff Goldblum was also offered the role...
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Smoke him if you got him.
Was also offered the role of Chris Thorne, but the studio didn't think he was bankable enough star at the time and refused to cast him. He would have been great.
Who?
Jeff Goldblum.
For who?
Chris
For Chris.
Thorne.
Yeah, he could have pulled it off.
Oh, for sure. The chemistry would have been there. He looked like he could look like a
be
banker.
Witty too.
He has that comedy.
Yeah.
You ever seen Transylvania 65000? Oh, he's got
That
the
and
comedic
also
chops.
Hotel Transylvania 3.
Also, he's kind of got that very cool, calm, and collected sort of attitude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could
That
pull
I
the
think-
banker,
that I
like,
think
that
Chevy
whole,
Chase was
like,
trying to
suave,
do.
debonair.
Yeah.
Like, he can do it. And he's got that comedic chops, man. I think he could have done it. So, Aykroyd spent 6 months writing it as a screenplay called Git, which was later changed to Road to Ruin. Dan Aykroyd described the script as a monster movie and compared it to Beetlejuice and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in one. I don't get Beetlejuice, I just see Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I don't see no Beetlejuice.
But funny. And I don't see monster. Where's the monster in it? Other than Alvin, I suppose, could be a monster.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dan Aykroyd's brother not only wrote the story, but appears as Mike the Doorman. IFC listed Nothing But Trouble as one of the 10 90s comedies that really needed a sequel. Complex magazine named this as one of the 25 greatest comedies of the 90s. Several members of the Digital Underground group revealed during production while taking breaks from filming that they enjoyed conversing with Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and John Candy. Apparently Chase, who was reportedly difficult on set, did pratfalls for them similar to when he was a cast member on Saturday Night Live. However, they said Demi Moore was the only cast member to not interact with them. Apparently, while taking breaks, she spent time alone in her trailer. The movie was a big family reunion for Dan Aykroyd. His brother Peter plays a doorman. His father, father-in-law, and young daughter all appeared as porch people, along with his good friend Richard Kruk, as well as producer Robert K. Weiss.
Hey, fuck it. He's put his whole family in that movie.
Right?
Hey, he's saving some bucks, dude.
Oh, shit. Aykroyd had trouble setting on the ending, which was written and rewritten during the shoot. Eventually, they settled on Chase's character learning through the television that Vulcanizer survived the destruction of Vulcanvania and leaving a Chase-shaped hole in the wall. The crew was dissatisfied with the ending, but it was the best they could come up with. And that is the end. I thought the ending was
I
fine.
didn't think the ending was bad. I thought it was fine. It left a sour taste in your mouth a little bit, but only because you're like...
I mean, I guess I could see where they feel like maybe it was a little dissatisfying or maybe it was a little...
Yeah, only because, like, all right, so this guy's still going to torture Chevy Chase's character, blah, 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 all that good stuff, so...
I have to say, I did really like the fact that they show up thinking that, he's going to get his comeuppance, but then, the whole guys behind him are like, no, we like what he does,
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of cool.
All right, well, that's Nothing But Trouble. Let's see what we're going to do next week, Karen. Terminator 2.
Terminatrix.
It's not in there. Oh, shit. Texas Chainsaw.
Are you
Are you
fucking
serious?
I'm serious. Texas Chainsaw.
Which one is that?
The first one. We haven't watched any of the other ones.
Yeah, but I mean, where do they end?
Yeah,
in the
no
game?
It
shit,
starts
like
with the
Texas-
first one in the 70s.
Texas Chainsaw is like a whole fucking.
Okay, but we
just-
start with the first one.
Okay, so we're
it's the
doing
very
the Texas
first one.
Chainsaw Massacre,
Which
from,
is
what
the
is it,
1974?
1970? I
Hold
don't
on.
know.
If it's 1974,
I don't
Pat
think I've
yourself on
actually
the
been
back.
I
able-
win Diane.
I don't think I've ever actually been able to sit down and watch.
Little devil. Hold on. Hold, please. Your call is very important to me.
I don't think I've ever really been able to sit down and
believe you.
watch.
Oh, it's
a
so
full-
good.
I've seen it once.
The first one is so good. 1974.
No,
Hey, you get Diane!
I win Diane.
you can have her.
Peacock. And
Peacock.
Shudder.
There you have it, people. We're doing a horror movie next week. For next week,
I can't believe that. 1974.
Texas
I knew
Chainsaw
that.
Massacre, 1974. This is a classic.
You sound stoked. That is
So
a classic.
stoked.
Well,
stoked.
it is a very good movie, but it has spawned so many
Duds.
I think I
Yeah,
don't think I've
like-
ever seen the original.
Well,
like
I think I've
it's
only
the
seen-
original. Like, have you seen House of Thousand Corpses? Or
No.
okay, well, in any case, it has spawned
A
so
lot
many.
of- it's very influential.
Inspiration.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
honestly, it is very good, very well done, and it's. I mean, they made it with like a shoestring budget. Like there
Yeah.
is no money put into this movie hardly, and it made all of the money on.
Don't
its
get me
way back
wrong.
in.
I thought the new one was good. The new one on Netflix. I didn't think it was bad.
I
Everybody
think the
hated
one with
it.
the
I was
watch
like,
sisters,
that one?
right?
Yeah.
Where the
yeah,
that's
I
the
thought
one
that was a good
saw.
movie. I didn't mind that one at all.
I liked it.
So, but whatever. It's to each his own.
Which one was that?
The Texas. Is it just called the Texas Chainsaw?
I think I just got over it at some point. But which one? What was the plot for that one?
Where them kids are trying to, them college kids or whatever, fresh out of college, and they're trying to gentrify this little town to make it their own little
Gentrify it.
utopia.
Weren't they on like some
Yeah.
kind of party
And-
bus?
Yeah, they're like this big
the
party
last
bus
one I
pulls
remember
in.
watching was they go to the house and it was like they're like the kid was like their family, but she didn't know.
Oh, that's Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the one with Alexandria Daddario.
okay.
Yeah, I know which one that one is. That one's not bad. It was just kind of like the cringiest part was like, "Do your thing, cuz." That was so stupid.
I do remember liking the remake with Jessica Biel.
I didn't think the remake was bad either. I didn't
know why they
honestly,
had to change the
I didn't
name,
think
though.
that the sequel or whatever it was that took place, because there was the remake, and then I believe there was a sequel to that.
The canon in this movie.
It's
is
all
just...
over the fucking place. Didn't you just send me? A
I
meme
did.
about
I
that?
sent
Yeah.
you guys
like,
the
what,
picture.
like a week or two
yeah,
ago?
like it goes. Hold on, I think it's not too far.
It's like all over the fucking place, because you got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then you got the sequel with Chop Top, and then there's the Next Generation, and then with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, and then after that it goes into like they don't do shit with the property for years,
All right, so
and then
you
they do
got
the remake.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the original. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is direct sequel / parody. Leatherface, the
With
Texas
Chop
Chainsaw
Top, the best character out of the whole series.
Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, sequel / reboot. Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation, sequel to the original. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, remake of the original. Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning, prequel to the remake.
Which I thought was also good.
Texas Chainsaw 3D, sequel to the original only.
It was okay. It had some really cheesy
So many
parts.
sequels to the original. We got 2? Yeah, 2. Leatherface, prequel to the original. We've already got a prequel to the... prequel to the remake.
Leatherface wasn't bad.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, sequel to the original only. So we've got 3 sequels.
Or no, Leatherface was a shitty one. Which one was it where they were kids?
I don't know. We've got 3 sequels to the original.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about is a prequel. I think it was
Prequel, there's Leatherface.
Yeah, that was the shitty
And
one. I didn't like that one.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning.
They're not all... You got to take them for what they are, man.
Dude, like,
Take
there
them
is...
for a movie and be entertained. That's all
Okay,
I
but
do.
I'm, like, blown away by there is 1, 2, 3. There's 4 sequels to the original.
Yeah, and they're all... None of them have anything
1,
to do with
2,
each
3,
other. They're all
4,
like,
5,
this
6,
is the one
7,
right after the first
8.
one.
There's 9 movies, and 4 of them are a sequel to the original movie.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I never even put all that together. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to do all these movies. It's gonna be awesome.
Doing all these movies. You're on crack.
I love
Well,
it.
whenever we poll it again, like, what sequel do you pick?
You go in order. So, like,
Of release?
yeah, the thing.
All
We'll
right,
go by
fuck
that.
it.
We'll go by
All
the.
right, fine.
We'll go by that.
As
I
long as we-
shunned this movie.
So the good thing about that is the next one is the one with Chop Top,
Yeah.
which is the best one.
Remember, we were talking about doing bad movies. Bad movies make a good episode because we
That's
all
true.
bitch and
That is true.
laugh.
I'm not
and-
saying that the second one's a good movie. I'm saying that it's
Good
got Chop.
jokes come out.
Yeah, it's got Chop Top in it. Like he says, "Lick my plate, you dog dick."
I remember
Like
that.
that shit's fucking hilarious. Anyway, don't forget to check out our social stuff down there. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. And next week we're gonna do
Texas
Texas
Chainsaw.
Chainsaw Massacre from 1974.
That is hilarious that we pulled that. We've just been talking about it this
Yeah,
whole
that was funny. Yeah, because this movie just you can-
Texas
just
Chainsaw
has all of that. Yeah, that has that element. It'd be even funnier if we pulled something next week. Like, I don't think we have House of Thousand Corpses. or
Oh
anything,
God,
but-
no! If we did, I'd quit.
Anyway, we will catch you all next week, and don't forget to do all that stuff. And no more nasty comments, please.
I don't care. You can whatever.
Anyway,
Okay, bye.
until next week.
Bye.
All right.
Bye. Wax on, wax off.